I have a comment regarding group work. I would make a generalization that students do not like group work as well. With variable success online, what we found interesting with on-campus students is if provided the opportunity to do it on their own time using things like Google Docs, they much more embraced that opportunity as opposed to feeling they had to meet at a specific time and place. So encouraging technology, at least with on-campus students. Online students, I think they're online so much that we've just seen variable success with group work online.
Yeah, that's interesting because one of the things that we found in our study is that students were actually working in groups informally. You know, they would set up Facebook groups to exchange information about assignments and so on. So they weren't, you know, they weren't opposed, they didn't, based on that, it would seem they're not opposed to the idea of working in groups, but they want, there has to be a specific purpose for it, it has to meet their needs. And a lot of the group work that we do, I think, in our courses and programs is sometimes just put in there because we think we should be doing it, and it doesn't suit, it's not appropriate perhaps for the learning outcomes, and it doesn't meet the needs of the students. So, yeah.
Since we have a big long question period, thanks. Would you mind flipping back to your slide that showed the group work comparison in your study? Because there was a question I had about that. No, actually to the data.
Oh, okay.
That one. And it showed here that there was a low level of agreement. That led me to believe that there was a difference between what the, or level of agreement low. Does that mean that both groups did not like group work, or does it mean that they didn't agree in their opinions about group work?
The level of agreement refers to the NetGen group. So the NetGen group basically didn't agree that they liked group work.
Okay.
The fact that there's a small relationship there suggests that the non-NetGen group had a slightly higher propensity for group work.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's really contrary to what the other claims are.
Yeah, but the difference is there is statistical significance, but it's very small.
Okay.
So we can't really say much about that, but certainly the direction is opposite to what you would expect.
Okay, thank you.
Based on the literature.
I just wanted to comment what you're talking about students and how they think with this NetGen that they have good research skills. And I agree that it's a misconception. I have experience in K-12 as well as higher ed. And these students start in grade 4, going down to the lab, doing a project without learning proper research skills, without learning how to analyze data. And if it's not on the first link on their search, then it can't be there. It's not there anywhere. And sort of this, our group sort of was talking about this while you're presenting, how these students don't know how to analyze data. To build a bibliography is out of the question. What's a bibliography? They don't know how to reference data. So I think your research is very dead on as far as the students we're getting in higher education. And it's up to us as instructors and leaders, if we're going to use technology, to make sure that they are using it and taking it with a grain of salt, that they are actually going to get those analytical skills, because we're doing them a real disservice by having them leave our post-secondary institutions without actually learning how to analyze or getting those problem-solving skills with, you know, just relying on the internet for that, and then using it quickly and getting on with it and going to social networking or something else. So.
I just, in your research, I noticed that it focuses on kind of one population. And I know from what we work with, and you know, in this room, for example, we have everything from, you know, I work with ABE students to post-secondary to, you know, so there's such a level of types of students that we work with. And I guess my question is how did you take into account those types of students? Because if we were to go to an Ivy League school and provide your survey, or if we were to go to a, you know, a lower level university or post-secondary, I'm pretty sure, you know, would those results change in your survey?
My guess is they would, and that's one of my points is that we need to be doing research to understand our own students in our own institution and not relying on generalizations. The sample that we had from BCIT, in theory, is representative of the whole institution, but you're right, we have a pretty heterogeneous group. And unfortunately, we didn't have a big enough number to be able to make comparisons between, say, trade students and technical students, or between students in particular programs. But I suspect if we did, if we had a bigger sample and we did those comparisons, we would see some differences.
And I guess my comment in that is then and I respect the fact that you're saying based on our needs, and I think we really need to keep that into account.
Yeah.
Robert, thank you.
I got thinking about your electricians and